Good morning, everyone. This is my second part of the lecture on working length determination. Before going detail into the lecture, I would like to remind about the classification again, methods of determining working length. In this, under radiographic methods, we have Grossman formula, Ingalls method, Wien's method, Cutler's method, radiographic grid method, endometric probe method, direct digital radiography, zero radiography, subtraction radiography. Under non-radiographic methods, we have digital, tactile sense, apical periodontal sensitivity, paper point method, and electronic apex locators. In the previous lecture, I have told you about what is apical foramen, minor constriction, and major uh, apical constriction, minor diameter, major diameter, and apical foramen, and then detail about the Ingalls method. So today I'll be talking about Grossman's method and Wien's method and radiographic methods. And in non-radiographic methods, I'll be talking about digital tactile sense, apical periodontal sensitivity, and paper point method. Electronic apex locator, I'll be taking in the part 3 lecture. That will be completing working length determination. Okay. So Grossman's formula. In Grossman's formula, the formula is this one: actual length of the tooth by actual length of the instrument is equal to radiographic length of the tooth by radiographic length of the instrument. So we need to find out the actual length of the tooth. So when we are measuring the instrument length, what you get is actual length of the instrument, and you place it in the tooth, and when you take a radiograph, so when you measure the length of the tooth in the radiograph, that is radiographic length of the tooth, and when you measure the instrument length in the radiograph, that will become radiographic length of the instrument. So we have three values known, and one value that to be determined is actual length of the tooth. So actual length of the tooth is equal to radiographic length of the tooth by radiographic length of the instrument into actual length of the instrument. So this is Grossman's formula. Okay. So most of the time in theory exam, they'll be asking about Wien's method in detail, but maybe sometimes they may ask Grossman's formula in short answer. If they ask you in short answer Grossman formula, you can write it is actual length of the tooth by actual length of the instrument is equal to radiographic length of the tooth by radiographic length of the instrument. Okay. Next one is Wien's method. In Wien's method is mainly used in determining the working length when there is any resorption is present in the apical end. So if the bone is healthy and root is healthy, there is no resorption. According to the Wien's method, you need to determine the working length 1 mm short of the radiographic apex, that is 1 mm away from the apical foramen. So Wien's recommendation for determining working length based on radiographic evidence of root or bone resorption. If no root or bone resorption is evident, then preparation should terminate 1 mm from the apical foramen. If bone resorption is apparent but there is no root resorption, then you should shorten the length by 1.5 mm. That if there is bone resorption and there is no root resorption, you can see in middle figure where you can see bone resorption but root resorption is not present. In that cases, you can shorten the length by 1.5 millimeters. Okay. When you see the figure on the right hand side, if both root and bone resorption are apparent, then shorten the length by 2 millimeters. Okay. So basically, Wien's method is giving information that you need to shorten the working length based on root resorption and bone resorption. If there is no bone resorption or root resorption, working length should be shortened by 1 mm from the radiographic apex. If there is bone resorption and there is no root resorption, it should be 1.5 mm shortened. And if there is bone resorption as well as root resorption, then it should be 2 mm short of the radiographic apex. Okay. So this is about the Wien's method. So determination of working length by digital radiography, there is nothing but you place a file in a tooth and take a radiograph or RVG or radiovisuography, and what you determine uh, in the radiovisuography is called as determination of working length by digital radiography. Okay, so the normal method, what we determine based on the radiograph, or if you take it in RVG, that is called as digital radiography. And coming to non-radiographic methods. So in non-radiographic methods, the first one is digital tactile sense. Digital tactile sense. That means based on the fingers tactile sense, we are going to determine the working length. But it is not accurate. But it's not accurate. But most of the time we should not depend on digital tactile sense to confirm the working length. We need to take the radiograph. Coming to this method, if the coronal portion of the canal is not constricted, an experienced clinician may detect an increase in resistance as the file approaches the apical 2 to 3 mm. That means in the coronal portion the canal is wide. When the clinician tries to progress the file apically, because of the resistance in the apical region, and when the apex is when the file is reaching to the apical region, they feel some resistance. Based on that, they will determine that we are approaching near to the apex. So that is called as digital tactile sense. Because of the resistance that you feel at the apical region, you confirm it that you are nearing to the apex. Based on that, you determine the working length, that is called as digital tactile sense. But these methods are not reliable methods for determining working length. But you have to know, because when they ask you, you need to write it in the theory paper. Okay, so digital tactile sense. So the another one is determination of working length by apical periodontal sensitivity. In this method, we are going to determine the working length based on the periodontal sensitivity. Again, this is not a reliable method and patient lose the trust. In this method, what we usually do is, an instrument is advanced in the canal towards the inflamed tissue. The hydrostatic pressure developed inside the canal may cause moderate to severe pain. When the pain is caused, patient will feel then okay, we have reached the apex and determine the working length. But one important criteria in determining the working length, it should be painless. So this criteria, this method is not meeting. So this is not a reliable method, and at the same time patient loses trust when we determine the working length in this method. So basically it was followed in the olden days. Now due to the advancements in the radiographs and other techniques, we are not using this method only, and this is only for the theoretical part. And one more disadvantage is that if the pulp is totally necrotic or resorption is there, when you file is passed beyond the apex also, patient doesn't feel any pain. So we cannot determine in the case of necrosis or any resorption cases. So it is not an ideal method to determine the working length. Okay. So the next one is determination of working length by paper point measurement. Okay, in a root canal with an immature apex, the most reliable means of determining working length is to gently pass the blunt end of the paper point into the canal after profound anesthesia has been achieved. So when you give an anesthesia in a wide open apex cases, you pass a blunt end of the paper point into the canal. The moisture or blood on the portion of the paper point that passes beyond the apex may be in an estimation of working length or the junction of between the root apex and the bone. If the paper point is passed beyond the apex, so there will be a blood in the apical region. That blood will be marked on the paper point. So when you take out the paper point, when you see a blood marking, so you can know that at that region root apex and junction of the bone is there. So you can measure that length and determine the working length by paper point method. So sometimes the paper point will be having markings. So 12 mm marking, 15 mm marking based on the manufacturer. They say that the markings will be there on the paper point. So when you place a paper point and that paper point goes beyond the apex, the paper point will get stained with the blood. So based on that one, you can determine a working length in blunderbuss canals where you have no apex at all. The open apex is present. Okay. In cases in which the apical constriction has been lost owing to resorption or perforation, and in which there is no free bleeding or suppuration into the canal, the moisture or blood on the paper point is an estimate of the amount of preparation is overextended. On the paper point measurement method is only a supplementary one, and it is not a confirmatory method again. Okay, so it is only a supplementary method. You cannot relate totally on the paper point method. You have to take a radiograph and confirm it. So previous slide I've told you about in case of blunderbuss canal or open apex, when the paper point is passed, you see a blood marking, and based on that you can determine a working length. In this one, when there is an apical constriction owing to resorption or perforation, that means overly prepared canal or working or cleaning and shaping has done beyond the apex. So when you pass a paper point, you can see blood marking on the paper point, which shows that apical constriction has been lost to resorption or perforation, and in which there is no fleet, in which there is a bleeding, and which is marked on the paper point. Okay, this is again not a valid method, but this you can use it as a supplementary method for determining the working length. So when you place a paper point, the blood marking on the paper point denotes that junction of the root and the bone. Based on that, you can determine the working length. Okay, this finishes about the determining the working length based on non-radiographic method. Again, one more thing is there, which is important one, that is determining working length based on apex locators, electronic apex locators. That itself, they may ask you 4 marks question or 2 marks question. That I will be discussing in next lecture in detail about electronic apex locators in determination of working length. Okay, this finishes part 2, working length determination. Then we will meet in the next lecture about apex locators.